Hello, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We'll give everybody just a minute to trickle in here. We're really excited to talk about busy but connected today. All right. I'm super excited you are all joining us today. Thank you so much. We are joined today by Miss Tammy Gatling, our Vice President of Training, Education, and Advocacy. Miss Tammy, if you will take it away.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Busy But Connected, making time for quality moments. We're so glad you're here. Whether you're watching this on your lunch break, while you're folding laundry, or even hiding in the bathroom for some quiet time, we see you and we get it. And the truth is, parenting in today's world is a lot. Work, school, drop off, dinner, bedtime, and then someone's got a science project due tomorrow. Their favorite shoe mysteriously disappears, just all the things. But here's the good news. You don't have to do more to feel more connected to your child. You just need a few intentional moments woven into your already full life to build that bond. So today, we're sharing research, practical tips, funny real life stories, and simple rituals to help you create meaningful connections without needing to add Parent of the Year to your already too long to do list. So let's jump right in with a question. What's your biggest challenge you have staying connected during busy days? We encourage you to drop some of your responses in the chat. And while you're doing that, let me just give you a little pat on the back, actually, a big pat on the back. You're doing better than you think. So let's acknowledge your effort. Giving yourself some grace allows you to take a pause and think about the ways that you have been able to connect with your child while juggling all the other responsibilities that you have. So go ahead, after you put your responses in the chat, give yourself just a little small pat on the back because you are. You're doing way better than you think. Okay, so let's talk about what the research says. Let's start with what the science tells us because you don't need to be with your child every second of the day to make a huge impact. Research shows that just 10 to 15 minutes of focused attention without phones, without multitasking, without distractions can support your child's emotional growth and even their behavior. It's those small but consistent check ins, morning snuggles, bedtime rituals, looking directly into their eyes, getting on their level when they're talking. Those are the things that literally shape their brain and boost their school readiness. And I love this last one. It gives us permission to be human. Your child doesn't need you to be perfect. None of us are perfect. They need good enough, they need effort, they need you to be present. And all of that is so doable. So if you're here, you already know that moments matter and you're already making a difference in your child's life that can impact them positively for years to come. So before we keep going further, let's just keep it real. Life is busy, work is nonstop. Dinner sometimes looks like cereal, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love a good bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios. And bedtime can feel like a hostage negotiation. But you're not the only one figuring it out day by day, and sometimes laugh by laugh. These are a few of our favorite been there quotes from real parents who are doing the best they can. I once let my preschooler go to school with stickers on her forehead because she said they were her thinking dots. Seem legit. Hey, I am all about a good sticker. I think they should make more stickers for adults. But in this situation, I totally get where she comes from. I once sang Baby Shark as a lullaby because I blanked on every other song. Hey, sometimes in the heat of the moment, you got to go what comes to your forefront. And what better than the classic Baby Shark? My daughter thinks laundry day is a family fun day because we match socks together like it's a game. This is funny, but this is also really smart. The more things that you can connect as chores and have to do items to something fun and a game for your children, the easier it is for everybody. And you get to knock something off your to do list at the same time while also teaching them responsibility. We call the car ride home talk time, so I can feel like I'm parenting while also fighting traffic. We are not going to talk about commuting and driving home, how much of a struggle that can be, but also how much that's a perfect time to connect with your little ones. And my son thinks a car wash is a magical tunnel that cleans our problems away. Honestly, same. Hey, I agree. There's nothing like riding through an automatic car wash to kind of just wash the day away while also cleaning your car. These are funny, they're relatable, and it's proof that connection doesn't have to be polished. It just has to be real, and we can all do that. So now let's talk about quality over quantity because we often think connection has to be big events or long conversations or just connecting over and over and over again. But the truth is, it lives in the in between. So, in this slide, we're showing you what we call connections in the cracks, little aha moments during things you're already doing, like brushing your teeth, cooking. We just talked about this, riding in the car. They're all prime time for laughter, attention, and interaction. You don't have to add more to your plate. You just notice what's already there and then lean into it. So, yeah, let your child press the button at the crosswalk, elevator, or microwave. By the way, the elevator is a big deal. Pressing the buttons on the elevator is a really big deal. Then give them a high five like it's a mission accomplished. Narrate what you're doing in the kitchen like a cooking show. All of us have wanted to be Emerald Lagasse at one point. Lean into it and invite your child to co host. Turn toothbrushing into a game. Can you brush all the sugar bugs hiding behind your back teeth? Ask if your day was a color, what color would it be? That's really great for the ride home. I think you'll be really surprised with some of the colors and answers your children will come up with. Play this or that while folding laundry, pizza or tacos, sand or snow, Batman or Spider Man. I've been there. I'm a single mom, and while my son is far removed from preschool, primary school, secondary school, we used our car time to connect. I worked a lot of hours. And so that was when I asked him, hey, what music are you listening to right now? Whether that was Disney music when he was in preschool or when he got older, it was more adult music. But hey, let's listen and talk about it together. What did you learn today? Realizing that most of your children are going to talk about playing outside, lunchtime, things they did with their friends, and that makes sense because that was probably their favorite part of the day. But dig a little deeper. If you know that your child is into math or art or reading, start there and ask about those subjects. What are you reading right now in school? What we started doing when he got to reading age was whatever they were reading in the classroom, I read as well in my free time so that I could ask him questions about it, so that we could talk about it. And that created a lifelong love of reading and compromise, but also connection that still lives to this day. So find something that's already happening and just lean into it and make those connections. So let's talk about some rituals. I just gave you an example of the ones that I created with my son, the reading and the questions in the car. Those small routines, they build a rhythm of connection that will last for years. They don't have to be long, they don't have to be perfect. They're just repeatable little touch points that your child can count on. We all know how very important routine and structure is for children of all ages. So maybe that's a handshake, a bedtime phrase, a 2-minute drawing, or a silly joke you share before lights out, or before bedtime, or before bath time. These are all age-friendly ideas that we've listed that can easily be tailored to your schedule. Pick one. We challenge you to pick one of these or pick one of your own and try it for a week. See how it sticks. If it doesn't work, try something else. But creating a ritual doesn't take a lot of time and the impact can be long lasting. So I just want to let everybody know that's listening, you don't have to do it all. What if doing less actually connected you more? Because if the intention is there, that matters more than anything else. And I know that sounds backwards, but here's out. Our kids don't need Pinterest perfect lives. And I love a good Pinterest page. They need connection. And connection doesn't come from big, grand gestures. It comes from being seen, heard, and loved consistently, not all day, every day, just consistently. If you miss bedtime, it's okay. If you forgot Spirit Week again, welcome to the club. What matters most is how your child feels when they're with you. Are they safe? Do they feel heard? Do they know that they're loved even when you're running behind or too tired to talk? I remember when I was working about 20 to 30 minutes away, and my son would get home before I would, and we had this little ritual where he could tell by my dialogue how much time I needed before I could decompress and focus on him. And sometimes that feels like guilt as parents, like, I can't believe I need to pause. But by pausing and being intentional about my connection with him, I was able to connect with him in a more consistent, loving way where he was seen and heard, and I had put work away for the day. So let's drop the guilt and the perfectionism. The best gift we can give our kids is our presence, not our perfection. Again, give yourself some grace. A little bit goes a long way. Now it's your turn. We'd love to hear from you. Drop some questions in the chat. What's one way you connect with your child that works well for you?
So we have one that just came through. This question says, I want to be more involved in my child's learning, but I'm not sure where to start. What can I do at home that's going to make a difference?
That's a really great question. So again, you're here, you're asking questions. And so that's the first start. But also the good news is your involvement doesn't have to look like flashcards or worksheets or homework. At this age, learning happens through play, it happens through conversation, eye contact, and shared experiences. So, again, you can ask about classroom activities and what did you do today? And then repeat those same or similar activities at home. You're making a connection between things that they did and that they loved at school, and you're making that connection to home. Let your child teach you something that they learned today. I loved letting my son practice his sight words with me, reading the little books sometimes that get sent home, even teaching me the circle time song. And that was always a big deal. Like knowing the circle time song makes you a big hit with other children, by the way. Read books together, narrate your day out loud, talk to them about what you did that day to mirror them talking to you about what they did. Or better yet, you can just invite them to help you with simple tasks that are already a part of the day, like cooking, setting the table, putting up laundry. All of those things are really small but impactful ways to start being involved in your child's learning while making connections.
That's super helpful, I know for me as a parent too. And the next one actually really resonates with me, which is I worry that I'm on my phone too much when I'm with my child. Any tips for balancing real life and being present?
So I think this is something that we can all relate to. A lot of us probably live on our phones, through our phones. So that's a very real challenge for a lot of families today. So one helpful approach is to create a screen-free zone time frame during your day. So when I was referencing my anecdote earlier about how when I came home from work, he automatically knew like how much time I needed. That was the time for me to establish, okay, from this point to this point, the phone is put away because guess what? It can wait. Um, and I'm going to focus on intentional connections and conversations with my son because he needs this time from me. Because guess what? Sometimes your children need to decompress from their day just as much as you do, and connecting with you can help. So make the first 10 minutes after pickup or dinner time a phone away moment just for your connection. And when you do that, you should absolutely let your child know that this is our time. This is just for us. Letting them know why you carved out the phone away moment just helps make the connection even more intentional. Um, you can also talk about what you're doing on your phone to help make that connection. So, hey, if you're like me and you use the Notes app for almost everything, you can just let them know, hey, I'm working on the grocery list or I'm price checking. Just telling them why you're using the phone while you're with them helps your children understand that you're not checking out, you're still engaged. Small changes like that show your child that they matter and they help build trust, especially when you have to stay connected to a phone for some reasons.
Absolutely. I know I'm going to implement some of that in my life. And the final question that I saw come through, we have a lot of really good ones today. Sometimes I feel like I don't get much more than one word answers when I ask my child how their day was. How can I spark better conversations?
So again, very typical, very common experience, especially with younger children who are still learning to express themselves. So try shifting to like broader questions instead of how was your day? Be more specific or more playful. Like I talked about earlier, I would ask my son specifically about the music or, hey, what was the song that you sung in class today? What made you laugh today? Did anyone do something kind for you? Did you do anything kind for someone else? Tell me more about it. Um, we talked about if your day was a color. Well, what if your day was a weather forecast, or if your day was a cartoon character? What would it be? Just fun ways and descriptive ways to get more of the connection and conversation that you're looking for. Even at a young age, some of these children will be able to give you a little bit more context if the question is broader. Because think about it, when you ask somebody how their day was, that's a lot of time. So when they're trying to figure out the highlights, if you make the questions more playful, more specific, it helps them to kind of narrow in on a clearer answer. And you can also turn it into a game. Share your own. Hey, this was my best and my hardest moment for today, to model what sharing looks like. And then over time, children become more comfortable, they open up more, especially when it feels consistent and low pressure.
These are great. Thank you so much, Tammy. I'm going to go to the next slide.
Thank you. So, again, just want to say over and over that you are already enough. You are already doing so much as a parent. Your child doesn't need a perfect parent. They need you. They need your laugh, your hugs, your listening ear, your silly cereal for dinner nights, your morning pep talks, and your end of day snuggles, even if it's just 30 seconds long. Those are all moments where you are making connections. And the moments that often matter aren't always planned. They happen in the car, in the kitchen, at bedtime, when you least expect them. When those opportunities present themselves, again, lean into them and find a way to connect. So take what works from today, leave what doesn't, and just know this: you are doing better than you think, and every tiny connection counts. Thank you for spending time with us today. We don't take it for granted that you took time out of your schedule to hear our conversation about connecting in busy moments. We're cheering you on every day, every moment, big and small. Thank you again. You're showing up, and that's the magic. Children don't need 100% of you, they need enough of you consistently. Thank you again, and have a great remainder of your day.